Hey folks, it's Tony Russo here, and this is On the Clock, where we talk to industry professionals about why they do what they do, how they do what they do, and what they see for the future of the industry. Going to get right into it. This is our first episode. Very excited about it. We're going to be speaking with Rehan Choudhry. He is the founder of Chptr. I got to speak with him right when Chptr launched, and it's been a wild time these last several years watching them just kind of take over the world. I knew it was a great idea, and I actually even say in the video this is almost like a little victory lap for me because I thought they were going to do great things, and I feel like they have. But anyway, let's get right to it. Here's Rehan. So it's crazy. It's been a while since we actually spoke like publicly. And the first story I wrote about you guys was you were like, hey, I have this idea, and we're using it in a couple of funeral homes. And then just to watch what's happened with Chptr over the last couple of years has been fantastic. And then in recent times, it's been really like pow, pow, pow. So let's start with the last couple of months. When did you get over the hump, and what changed, do you think, for you to kind of be running downhill now?
Yeah. Thanks for having me back, by the way.
Always a pleasure.
No, it's you gave us. You were one of the first two people that gave us a chance to share our story. So it's I mean, the last 6 years have been a roller coaster, and to your point, the last 24 months has really been our defining moment. But every chance that we got to share what we wanted to do and get feedback on it has been really helpful. So I appreciate that. I could start with the last couple months. I mean, we are announcing funeral home partnerships as fast as they can go out.
Yeah, it's like at this point, it's like almost like easier for me to do a roundup than to try to follow them as they come.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I mean, look, it's not only exciting that we are able to sign up funeral homes as partners, but also that they want to tell the story. I mean, they're groups like Milestone and Anthem and Heritage have actually embraced their partnership with us as part of their narrative of how they're serving families differently and how they're evolving their businesses along with tech trends that matter, not just tech trends that are hype based. So that's what you're going to continue to see is this kind of flurry of funeral home based announcements, because I really do believe that we are being embraced as an additive partner and one that they actually want to talk about. And that feels really good, right? You want to be the person they're dating that they like telling their friends about.
And I don't want to. I kind of shy away from asking easy questions if I can help it, but it's also working, and like it's a real thing. This isn't something that was a crackpot idea, which I got a little bit of, what are you doing, when I did the story at first, and I just really thought it made a lot of sense. And maybe it's just me taking a victory lap as well, saying, see, I told you this is a real thing that makes sense.
Yeah. In an effort to bring families more effective and accessible memorial content about their lost loved ones, we ended up accidentally creating one of the most effective marketing vehicles for funeral homes in the last 30 years. We didn't create television, we didn't create radio, we didn't create podcasts, and we definitely didn't create using those channels to be able to announce passings. But what was never accessible to local businesses was the ability to send information and have it broadcast in a timely way that actually had a positive impact on their customers and on their families, but also allowed them to share what they do on a regular basis. Like with newspapers, you'd call them up and say, we have an obit to submit, and they'd say, great, you can submit it on Friday, and it's not going to air it's not going to publish for 2 weeks. It's like, great, that's 3 weeks past the funeral service. But today, a funeral director can see a family right now and tell them that tomorrow on their local TV news network, their obit's going to broadcast for the next 3 days, and that's guaranteed. And we've what we've done is we've eliminated those barriers to entry. So now funeral homes can share the information that is really the most valuable to the community. It's Who have we lost? What impact did they have on our local community? How did their story make up the fabric of our community? And what do I do to celebrate them? And what's happening is people are actually learning about these losses while they're watching the news. They're going to their television stations, their local news networks to hear this stuff. And the result of it is more brand loyalty, more awareness for the funeral homes, and more engagement. Like you're seeing somebody look on the screen and see, oh, my buddy from high school passed, and you know which funeral home to go to. You know where the obit is on their website, and you get to figure out very quickly how you can support the family during their time of need or get the information you need. It's really working. Um,
Well, that was the thing that I always got a kick out of was that the obit didn't separate the funeral home from the flowers and the different guest book, you know, benefits. But it did get it was a neat little thing that again it wasn't as obvious at first, but it was like, oh, that's right. The TV station gets the obit, but the funeral home gets the rest of it. The people to come in, the people to come to the website. It's a commercial and it drives people to the website at the same time, which I always thought was
yeah,
brilliant.
I mean,
But
it's shocking.
you made a bunch of partnerships with you. Are there any television stations you're not working with yet? Disney. Are you on Disney yet? Or?
We work with everybody. There isn't a TV station in the country that we can't engage with. We are under contract with over 75% of all TV stations in the US right now, and we're about to announce another major partnership that's going to get us on a couple of additional platforms beyond television. And what we're just trying to do is give funeral homes and funeral directors the ability to communicate with their community across every single local channel. So they just don't have to think about it anymore. But yeah, we're partnered with all of these media companies directly, which gives us the ability to answer the question for funeral homes. Do I need to stay up to date on any technological trends? Do I need to invest in anything? Is this going to take time? And the answer is no. We got all that taken care of for you. But to your point earlier about flowers, I think when we built this company, we built it on the basic premise that we're a tech solution that can take information from point A to point B. What we should not be doing is transferring that information, transferring ownership of that information. We should not be selling anything with that information. We should not have our hands in anybody's pockets because that's not our business. Right? My business is to take information from a funeral director and put it on television. And shockingly, not shockingly, because of us seeing our place in the world so narrowly, the funeral homes and the media companies are benefiting. The media companies get the eyeballs, but the funeral homes, to your point, are getting the web traffic and they're getting the e-com purchases and the engagement that they should have been getting directly all along. But for
Right.
a period of time, that was siphoned away from them by other players.
And how does YouTube work? I mean, I know how the site works. I bet for you.
Yeah, so YouTube is another lucrative SEO channel for funeral homes. A lot of funeral homes know this, but in our opinion, they were publishing the wrong content. What we do is we take the same broadcast spots that we have on television and we filter them for just a funeral home that we're working with, that just that brand, and give them their weekly recap of obits to publish on YouTube. But then we also recommend that
Wow.
they put that information in the description so it's searchable. And what that'll do is it'll just organically boost their SEO profile. And at the end of the day, it's really the message is how do they take ownership back of the content that the family has trusted them with. Um, so yeah, YouTube right now for us is an extension of the TV broadcasts that we do. We have ways in which we can create unique YouTube content, but right now we're just trying to solve for very basic problems. And it's when you search John Smith and the dates, who's going to come up first? Is it the funeral home or is it another website? And the more chances you can get to boost that presence at no cost, we champion.
Well, one of the things that I do as part of my job is I get a lot of, I've got a Google alert for everything funeral service related. And increasingly, besides obits, I get YouTube and I get Reddit, and that's it. As AI kind of takes apart the basic SEO stuff, you know that Google's not going to let anything bad happen to YouTube. And so a lot of the news stuff that I used to get like the television station's webpage. Now I get the television station's YouTube page. And it's been the last 6 months amazing to watch this kind of Reddit and YouTube and obits and printed obits. So those are the three. And increasingly the printed obits are to the website as opposed to other aggregators, which I also found really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing that this is playing out because I think with the mass introduction of AI, you run the risk of old mistakes resurfacing. And I think that however the algorithm or however the search engines behind powering their AI systems, however they prioritize ownership of content, it seems like they're starting to do it correctly. Because right now, the only thing that's certain is the family is going to the funeral director and providing them the information that is accurate and can be shared. Anything that's reshared or retransmitted is subject to misinformation or subject to
Right.
errors, whether intentional or not, and then a whole lot of other kind of revenue manipulation. And as long as Google prioritizes the trusted sources of information and the ownership of information to funeral homes, the system's going to work great. It really is. Um,
Mm.
you can't put somebody in the middle of that and have that not wreak havoc. So it's really great that the searches are pointing to funeral home websites where the obit's actually sitting. But yes, YouTube, Reddit, these other channels are going to have to be a part of the lexicon for funeral directors very quickly.
Right. And what was funny is really 6 months, a year ago, those weren't, I wouldn't even have clicked on it if it said Reddit or YouTube because I would have felt like it was secondhand information. And increasingly it's firsthand information. It's just the best places to get things. So, what do you see for the the mid range future for both Chptr and the industry in general with technology and just with regular operations?
I believe that in the next 36 months, every single funeral home in the country is going to be publishing obits on television at this wildly discounted rate and doing so in a way that allows them to give it away for free to their customers, like most of our funeral home partners are doing. They're not actually charging for it. They're just giving it away because we've been able to get the unit cost on an obit down a fraction of a percent of what it used to cost when you were publishing a
Mm.
newspaper of it. So I think number one, we're going to see a rapid and very decisive shift in the way we distribute obits with media, and it's gonna, I believe, gonna be in this new model because we've created efficiency and we've eliminated the price hurdle, and ownership of information has been restored. But there's also a generational shift that's happening where the people who want to learn about this information, they're not reading the obit pages in the newspaper anymore. They're not getting the newspaper anymore. They're turning their local TV stations on. So I do believe that's going to happen. We've also started attempting to chip away at some of the other issues that I think funeral directors face. So slideshows is a product that we launched recently, and you would normally look at that and think, what does that have to do with TV broadcasts? And the answer is not a lot. The answer is this: we are in service of the funeral director, and the thing that we saw is funeral directors were getting tools from tech companies in the industry in the profession to make it easier for them to create slideshows for the family. But they were missing the point. Funeral directors don't want to create slideshows for the family. They don't want an easier tool. They don't want to do it at all. So what we kept seeing was this thing happening with every funeral director we saw where their problem wasn't being solved. So we created a tech-enabled white glove service where we do all the work now. So the funeral director just inputs the information, the family information, the same way they do an obit that broadcasts on television. And we send the family a link. The family uploads our photos. We do the rest. And we hand an edited slideshow over to the funeral
Oh,
director
wow.
when they need it to broadcast, to play at the service, and then to potentially broadcast on television if they want to, or anything else. But we're doing that for $199 a month for unlimited slideshows. Like literally.
It's no offense intended. I'm surprised it took you that long to figure out. I mean, you said it, and of course, why?
Yeah, it's
You have the photos, you have the connection.
it wasn't for a lack of effort, I think, on anyone's part in the profession, but I think it's this, like, technology is supposed to solve problems, and the when you actually talk to funeral directors, they need two things. They need more time back to focus on families, and they need more families to be able to service to keep their businesses going. And that's it. Like, those are the two things. They don't need a manual with tools to put together AI-driven music to create customization for them. They just do that stuff created for them. And the beauty of the world today is it is not expensive to do that. So you should not be charging exorbitant rates for this stuff to funeral directors. You should just be like giving them access to the benefits of the tech that's out there, not necessarily fighting to give them your technology. And I think that's something that was missed in this like tech race in the profession was what does the service actually require, right? And it doesn't require a funeral director to learn anything new. It requires them to just trust a partner to deliver it for them and not gouge them for it. And that's what we're trying to do. Our unit cost for an obit, we've got it down to $50 now. It's literally like $50 to get an obit on television per obit. And that rate's dropping as we get more and more efficient. And we've turned what was a $20 cost per slideshow for funeral directors into something that costs like $1. And we're going to continue to get that rate down. So that's really what we're trying to do is we want to be known for making the funeral directors' lives better, focusing on those two things. One, giving them time back to focus on families, and two, trying to find more families so they can fuel their business.
Excellent. And that's pretty much all I have for you for this time. Is there something I missed? Is there something you wanted to say didn't get a chance?
No, I can tease something. There's something really exciting that we're launching at the end of April that more information is going to come out about. But we are in partnership with a handful of partners in the profession going to launch a like a public service awareness campaign. Really educating the public on the role funeral directors play in their local communities. This is going to be a national campaign that we're going to do using our existing media relationships and resources. It's not going to cost the funeral directors anything. And what we want is for the public to understand the role that the funeral director plays in their community. My sister is an ER doctor in Chicago, and what she went through during the pandemic was something that like nobody should have to experience in their professional life. And I've only been in this profession for now almost 6 years, and I've learned a tremendous amount of what funeral directors went through at that time. It was very similar. So we believe that funeral directors should be seen as first responders and should be heralded as such. So we're taking our step to help with that narrative. So there's going to be some exciting things that have nothing to do with us or our brand or our product, but really it's just to show the world and show the community and the country what funeral directors do for us, why and why they get out of bed every day and why we need them. So more to come on that, but yeah, that's the next thing.
That's brilliant. Excellent. And I'm sure you'll do well. And no, I guess we'll catch up when that happens too. But for now, thank you so much for taking the time. And I'll check in with you again next time we can.
Thank you for championing the work we all do.